Welcome to SN Knowledge Series. In this episode, let's discuss on the topic, adopting Deming's PDCA cycle in Pharma R&D Unit for continuous improvement. Authored by SN Panigrahi. Certified PMP, Authorized Training Partner, ATP, Instructor, PMI, USA, Fellow Institution of Engineers, FIA, Chartered Engineer, Certified Lean Six Sigma Black Belt, GST and International Business and Projects Consultant, Corporate Trainer, Mentor and Author, National Council Member, IIMM. Before deliberating on the subject, let's first understand what is Deming Cycle. The Deming Cycle, also known as the PDCA cycle, is a continuous quality improvement model developed by Dr. W. Edwards Deming, a prominent statistician and management consultant. PDCA stands for Plan, Do, Check, Act, which represents the four key stages of the cycle. The Deming cycle is widely used in various industries to improve processes and achieve continuous improvement. It provides a structured approach for organizations to enhance their processes, products, and services through iterative cycles of planning, implementation, evaluation, and adjustment. Here's a detailed explanation of each phase in the PDCA cycle. The first step of the PDCA cycle is to plan and establish objectives for improvement. The processes involved in the step are identify the problem or opportunity, collect data, understand the current state, find root causes, analyze data, find process inefficiencies, develop potential solutions, establish goals and objectives. In short, it is about create the plan and quantify the expected results. In the Do phase, the planned improvements are implemented. The processes are execute the plan and implement the solution or changes on a small scale or in a controlled environment, to minimize risk. Communicate the plan, execute the plan and collect data. In essence, it is about carrying out the plan. The Check phase involves evaluating the results obtained from the implementation of the improvements. Evaluate the results of the implemented actions, compare them to the established goals. Measure performance, analyze data, verify root causes, assessing effectiveness are the processes in this phase. If the solution is less than satisfactory, go back to the Plan phase and come up with better options. This phase is to test whether stated results achieved. In the Act phase, the company takes appropriate actions based on the results and analysis from the previous steps. If the solution is useful, take appropriate actions to standardize, optimize, or refine the process. Provide training and communicate to implement it company-wide. This phase is about standardizing and repeating the cycle as necessary. After completing the Act phase, the PDCA cycle starts again with the next iteration. The process is continuous, allowing organizations to make incremental improvements over time. The PDCA cycle fosters a culture of continuous improvement and helps organizations systematically address problems, make evidence-based decisions, and enhance their overall performance. It is widely used in various processes and quality management systems, as a fundamental framework for achieving continual improvement. Deming's PDCA, Plan Do Check Act, cycle is a strategy for continuous improvement that can be applied in various industries, including the research and development, R&D, unit of a pharmaceutical company. This cycle helps organizations to identify problems, develop and implement solutions, monitor the results, and make necessary adjustments. Let's explore each step of the PDCA cycle with detailed examples from an R&D unit of a pharmaceutical company. Plan. The first step of the PDCA cycle is to plan and establish objectives for improvement. In the context of an R&D unit, this could involve identifying areas of the drug development process that need improvement, such as reducing the time it takes to bring a drug to market or increasing the success rate of clinical trials. Example, a pharmaceutical company's R&D unit wants to reduce the time it takes to bring a drug to market. They plan to set a goal of reducing the overall development timeline, say by 20% within the next year. Do. In the Do phase, the planned improvements are implemented on a small scale or in a controlled environment. This allows the company to test the proposed changes and gather data to evaluate their effectiveness. Example, the R&D unit selects a specific drug development project to test the proposed improvements. They implement changes such as using advanced data analytics to streamline the preclinical development process, leveraging artificial intelligence to enhance the clinical trial design, and adopting a risk-based approach to regulatory filings. Check. The check phase involves evaluating the results obtained from the implementation of the improvements. Data is collected, analyzed, and compared against the established objectives to determine whether the changes have been successful. Example, the R&D unit collects data on the development timeline before and after implementing the improvements. They compare the data against the established goal of reducing the timeline by 20%. If the timeline has decreased by the desired amount, they proceed to the next phase. Otherwise, they analyze the data to identify reasons for the shortfall and make necessary adjustments. Act. In the act phase, the R&D unit takes appropriate actions based on the results and analysis from the previous steps. If the improvements were successful, they are standardized and implemented on a larger scale. If the results were not satisfactory, the R&D unit analyzes the reasons for the shortfall and makes necessary modifications to the plan. Example, if the R&D unit achieves the targeted 20% reduction in the development timeline, they standardize the improvements across all drug development projects. They update the R&D process map, conduct training sessions for all R&D team members, and communicate the changes throughout the organization. If the desired reduction is not achieved, they may identify additional root causes of delays, revise the improvement plan, and repeat the cycle. Repeat. The PDCA cycle is iterative, and the process continues by repeating the steps to drive ongoing improvement. The R&D unit sets new objectives, implements changes, evaluates the results, and takes appropriate actions based on the findings. This continuous improvement approach helps the R&D unit to refine the drug development process and achieve better outcomes over time. Example, the R&D unit repeats the PDCA cycle at regular intervals, continuously setting new improvement objectives. They may target other areas for improvement, such as enhancing the use of real-world evidence in drug development or optimizing the use of digital technologies in clinical trials. By following the PDCA cycle, the R&D unit of a pharmaceutical company can systematically drive continuous improvement in various aspects of the drug development process. The cycle helps them to identify problems, experiment with potential solutions, evaluate the results, and make data-driven decisions to achieve better outcomes in a structured and iterative manner. Do you find the presentation informative and useful? If yes, then click like and also subscribe the channel for free to receive updates. Thank you. For more details contact SN Panigrahi at the below contact details.